Hey guys, in the next few minutes, I'm going to walk you through the safest and most universal way to root Android using Magisk and a PC. I've put a lot of effort into this, so this will be one of the most detailed and beginner-friendly rooting guides you'll find on YouTube. I'll explain everything slowly and keep it super simple, so even complete beginners can follow along without fear or confusion. But before we start, please listen carefully, because this part is very important. Unlocking the bootloader will completely erase all data on your phone, so backing up everything is absolutely required. There is also a small chance of boot loop or software issues if the wrong file is flashed. That's why I strongly recommend watching this entire video first, and then follow the steps carefully. Rooting can also void your phone's warranty in many regions, since manufacturers do not officially support modified software. After rooting, some banking apps or high security apps may stop working. They detect root access and block the app. Also, this method does not work on Samsung devices, because Samsung phones do not support Fastboot mode. So if you're using a Samsung phone, please watch my dedicated Samsung rooting video instead. And one more honest truth. If your phone's bootloader cannot be unlocked, then rooting is not possible at all. Brands like Oppo, Vivo, and some Realme models permanently block bootloader unlocking. If you understand all of this, then let's get started. For this video, I'm using a Pixel 6a running the latest Android 16. I chose the newest version on purpose. If Android 16 can be rooted using this method, then older versions like Android 14 or Android 15 can definitely be rooted the same way. And yes, you can follow this exact method on almost all Android devices. Now, the first step is unlocking the bootloader. This step is mandatory. That's why I already have dedicated bootloader unlocking guides for most popular brands like Motorola, Xiaomi, and a few others. I strongly recommend watching the specific bootloader unlock video for your device, because some brands require extra steps, special permissions, or waiting periods. Now, the very first step in unlocking the bootloader is enabling developer options. Open Settings, go to About Phone, and tap on Build number 7 times. Keep tapping until you see the message, "You are now a developer." Once that's done, go back to the main settings screen, open System, and then tap on Developer Options. Inside Developer Options, scroll down and look for OEM unlocking. This step is required, because without OEM unlocking, the bootloader cannot be unlocked. Now scroll a little further down and enable USB debugging as well. This allows your Pixel phone to communicate properly with your computer. Once USB debugging and OEM unlock options are enabled, connect your phone to the PC using a USB cable. When USB debugging pop-up appears on your phone, just tap Allow. Now let's move to the PC screen. On the PC, download the platform tool from the description link and extract it as well. After extracting, you can delete the zip file if you want and open the extracted platform tools folder. Now, click on the address bar at the top and type cmd and press enter. This will open the command prompt right inside the platform tools folder. Next, in the terminal, run the command ADB devices. If you see a serial number listed, that means your device is connected properly. Now run the command ADB reboot bootloader. This will reboot your Pixel phone into Fastboot mode. So just wait a few seconds until phone boot into Fastboot mode. Now, the bootloader unlocking command varies slightly, depending on your device manufacturer and model. For older devices like Nexus, Motorola, and HTC models, you'll likely use Fastboot OEM unlock. But for newer devices like Google Pixel, Oneplus, Nothing and More, the command is Fastboot flashing unlock. Since I'm using a newer Pixel phone, Fastboot flashing unlock is the correct command for me. As soon as you run this command, look at your phone screen. Your phone will show a confirmation message asking if you really want to unlock the bootloader. Use the volume buttons on your phone to move the selection to unlock the bootloader, and then press the power button to confirm. This step will erase all data and unlock the bootloader of your Pixel phone. Now press the power button to reboot your phone. Alright, let me fast forward through the setup process and quickly set up the device again. And yes, the device has now rebooted. Let's quickly confirm whether the bootloader is unlocked or not. So let me quickly enable developer options again. And yes, as you can see, OEM unlocking is grayed out and shows already unlocked. This confirms that the bootloader has been successfully unlocked. Now, while you're still in developer options, make sure USB debugging is enabled as well. Now we're done with step 1, the bootloader is unlocked. So let's move on to step 2, which is getting the correct boot image for your device. As getting the correct boot image isn't easy, so I made a dedicated video a few days ago where I show 4 methods to get boot image for your Android phone. This part is extremely important, so be focused. First, go to your phone settings and check the exact build number. This will help us download the correct firmware for our device. But if you're using a Redmi or Poco phone, check the HyperOS version. And if you're using a Oneplus phone, look for the version number. Different brands label it differently, but the idea is the same. So here is the build number. Just note it down carefully. Now on the PC, open any browser and search for your device's firmware using the build number you just noted. You will find your device firmware on official or unofficial websites. If you're not able to find it using the build number, try searching with your device name followed by the word firmware. Make sure the firmware version exactly matches your build number. This part is very important. In my case, I found a firmware file that matches perfectly. So let me go ahead and download it. Once the firmware finishes downloading, just extract it on your PC and we'll move on from there. After extracting, you can delete the zip file to keep things clean. Now you'll see all the firmware files here. This is where the boot images are stored. Look for a file named boot.img or init_boot.img. That's the file we need for the next step. If you don't see an initboot.img file, that's completely normal. It simply means your device is using the traditional boot image. In that case, just use the boot.img file. In my case, there is no initboot image, so I'll copy this boot.img file and move it to the downloads folder. Next, connect your phone to the PC and transfer this boot image to your phone's internal storage. Let me quickly do that, and then we'll move on to step 3, patching the boot image file. Once the boot image is on your phone, install the Magisk APK if you haven't already, and open the Magisk app. Inside Magisk, tap on the install button, then choose Select and Patch a File. Now, browse and select the boot image file you copied earlier, whether it's boot.img or init_boot.img. Magisk will now start patching the file. This may take a few seconds, so just wait patiently. Alright, the patched boot image is now created and saved inside the Downloads folder. Let me quickly confirm that it's there. And yes, here is our patched file. That means step 3 is complete. Now let's move on to step 4, flashing the Magisk-patched image. First, connect your phone to the PC and copy the Magisk-patched file from the Downloads folder back to your computer. Let me quickly move it. Once that's done, open Command Prompt on your PC and run the ADB devices command to confirm your phone is properly connected. When you see your device serial number, run the next command, a DB reboot bootloader. This will reboot your phone into Fastboot mode. Let's wait until the phone switches to Fastboot. Once your device is in Fastboot mode, run Fastboot devices to confirm the connection. And yes, as you can see, the device is now detected in Fastboot mode and properly connected to the PC. Now pay extra attention here, because this step is very important. First, we need to check whether your phone uses a single partition or a dual partition setup. To do that, run this command. If this command returns either A or B, that means your device supports dual slots. But if this command returns an error like getVar variable not found, then it means your device is using a single slot or single partition system. Once you understand this part, let's move on. Now you only need to remember 2 cases, dual slot devices and single slot devices. First, let's talk about dual slot devices. If your phone is dual slot, then the Magisk-patched file must be flashed to both slots. If you patched a boot.img file, then first flash it to slot A by running this command, fastboot flashboot _A and path of Magisk-patched file. This will install Magisk in slot A. Once that is done, flash the same file to slot B by running this command. Fastboot flashboot _B and path of Magisk-patched file. This will install Magisk in slot B. Now, if instead you patch the init _boot image, the process is exactly the same. So remember this rule. Dual slot phone means flash the patched file to both slots. Now let's move to the second case, single slot devices. If you patched a boot image, just run this. Fastboot flashboot and path of Magisk-patched file. And if you patched an init boot image, run this. Fastboot flash init _boot and path of Magisk-patched file. Once you are done flashing, it's time to reboot the phone by Fastboot reboot. Keep in mind, the first boot after flashing Magisk can take a little longer than usual, so don't panic and don't interrupt the process. Just wait patiently until the phone fully boots up to the home screen. And yes, the device has now booted up successfully. Now let's open the Magisk app and confirm whether rooting was completed or not. And yes, as you can see, Magisk is installed, and the current version is Magisk 30.6, which means the root installation was successful. Now let's verify root access using the Root Checker app. And yes, as you can see, root access is properly installed, which confirms that the root Android phone process worked without any issues. So this is how you can root any Android phone, whether you're using a Pixel, Oneplus, Nothing, Motorola, or many other supported Android devices. If you liked this video, don't forget to like it and please consider subscribing to the channel. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.